mirror. That's hard for people to do.
I think we talked about that before.
Yeah, we touched on that. But, like you said, it's easier said than done. But that's one thing me and my wife always say. It's enough stress in life just dealing with life every day.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to create undue stress. Like, that's something I will not do, and I don't want to be around people that bring it into my life.
At the risk of sounding racist.
I'm just at that point, and
but it's enough stress.
My spirit, man. If anything disrupts my spirit
every day.
That's a whole nother show, Doc. Doc, that's a whole nother show.
That's another show.
Look, even when you have a suit on, even when you got a suit and a tie on, you walk by the car and they still click, click, click.
Locking the door.
Like when you in Barlow or Walmart and you still in a suit and a tie and they clutch their pocketbook when you walk by their buggy. Like really? But like I said, that's a whole other show.
You walking through it like the employees, no matter where you turn, they right there.
All eyes on me. I mean,
I guess I'm the only black person in the store today. But
I get a kick out of it sometimes, though. I get a mess with it. Pick up something, look at it about 30 minutes.
No. What you do is you pick up something and you look around like
Anybody looking at
everybody looking at me, and then you catch eyes with somebody, and then you put it back and just kind of walk off.
Hey, they have no idea, man. They have no idea what we go through, man.
But I did want to talk to you a little bit about this situation, just to kind of highlight, because I like giving people stories just to let them know that you're not the only one going through these type of things. And I think the biggest lie on the enemy that keeps us all in bondage is when he tries to convince us that we the only ones that go through something.
Nobody understand.
Nobody understand where I'm coming from. Nobody else goes through this. And
right.
The Bible says ain't nothing new under the sun. It's all the same stuff. And so, I wanted to kind of talk to you, Croc, about one of the most stressful times in my work life.
Okay.
And how it was affecting my personal life and what God did in the interim. So, this is not a story I tell often. Hopefully this will be the only time I tell this story.
Oh boy, hey y'all, I ain't never heard this story, so my ears perked up.
But I didn't start off my career as being a teacher.
Right.
I've only been a teacher for the last couple of years.
Okay.
My whole career up to this point, I was trying to be at the pinnacle, at the top of a university. I wanted to be in university administration.
Okay.
And so I actually started off as a hall director early on in my career. And I've moved up. I've become a coordinator, an assistant director, all the way up until my last job. I was an associate vice president for a university. And I was the top black person at the university. If you look in the leadership, I was number 10. From the president, the vice presidents, and the associate vice presidents. In terms of seniority, I was number 10 at the university. I mean, I was pretty high up.
Yeah.
I was 2 steps away from being president. And you know what? And, as I was looking at my career path, I was thinking, all right, I need to start making moves to be a vice president.
Yeah.
And, my ultimate goal, I wanted to be a university president. And so... But at this job I was in, I started having some difficulties with some of the people I was working with, and so now mind you, I'm the only black male in that type of leadership position, and at one point in time I was the only black person, period, in that type of leadership position. So to say it was high profile, that everybody knew who I was. Literally, everybody knew who I was at that place. But like I said, I started getting into some troubles, and people started questioning some of the things that I was doing. Like, they didn't like the way I was doing certain things, even though it was yielding results. But they felt like it could have been done differently. And so it came to a point that, probably about a year and a half to 2 years before I was finally let go, God had already told me, my job is gone. He had already told me I was moving on. And so, I felt some type of way about this because I felt like it was unfair. And that's where a lot of stress come from.
Okay.
Things happen to us, we feel like it's unfair.
Okay.
And I kept questioning God, like, why is this happening? All I do is show up to work every day, do what I need to do. And so it came to a point that I finally had a meeting with my supervisor who finally let me know that, they feel like my job is not necessary, that they need to save some money. And so they're letting me go. And I've never been let go from a job before. I've always, achieved, excelled. In fact, you look at my last few evaluations, they were all top notch. There's no reason for me to go. And so, of course, I like I said, I felt some type of way about it. But here's how God worked out in this situation. And this is where I stress to y'all, just don't worry about it. And I had a lot of godly men and godly women in my life that was speaking scripture and telling me, these things I'm trying to tell people right now. And so, the way I handled myself, there were some other people that were being let go at the same time, but they made a big fuss about it. And they let everybody know they weren't happy about the way that this is going down.
Right.
And, just the peace of God with that whole situation, even though inwardly I still was very upset, I didn't let that affect my relationships or what people saw. And so I still went about my business. I still carried out my duties with peace and joy, to the point that the president made note that, of all the people we letting go, there's something different about how Justin is handling this. And even to the point, like later on, I had moved on, I had started working as a teacher, but I went back to this place just because I have no hard feelings. I literally don't. Am I totally happy about it? No. But, I went back to this place because I had a table. I was promoting something else while I was there. And I saw my old supervisor. And he made a point to come up to me and explain, you know what? What you were doing is a lot more difficult than I thought it was. And you just don't understand how much that just like washed any animosity I might have carried away. Just put that full trust in God to let him, let that favor still come about, even to the point that, in this situation where I could be very angry, I could be upset, I could be out, bad mouthing this place to everybody, that God saw fit to show that even though this happened, I'm still in control. And so you talked about the situation, where, those things we worry about, those things that we can't control.
Can't control it.
But there's someone who can.
But I think the blessing is how you deal with it. I think in all situations, I think the blessing comes in how you deal with it. Even when you praying for something and you waiting for it, or you waiting impatiently, or you going about your life and you gonna let God work where He gonna work. Because we all, and it's just for me, I always felt like I was behind.
What you mean?
Well, when I got to school, when I got to college, I ain't gonna say I was just, my childhood was different. All my friends, they got married fresh out of college, almost, right after, soon after. They started their families, but I guess sometimes it made me look like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why I don't have that? Why I don't have that? Why I don't? And then, they used to tell me, because I talk about it, they was like, man, take your time, get married when you're ready. Trust me, take your time. But then I look back, I'm at the point now, and I look back, I was just like, everything was done for a reason. God know what I was ready for when I was ready for it.
Right.
So even though I wanted that, I still wanted, because like I say, I told you how I met my wife. I was not looking for a wife.
Right. It was just random.
I wasn't looking for nothing. I was chilling. I had to talk to my brothers. I said, if I ain't married by the time I'm 40, I ain't getting married. Got married to someone when I turned 40.
Man, that's awesome.
So
and that tells me that God put it in your heart already. This is where this gonna happen.
Right. So we always think we ready for something or we pray for something, but God knows we ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with that at my house right now. You know, my daughter, she thinks she at a point where she ready for A, B, C, and D.
Right.
But if you was ready for it, God would have already gave it to you.
It would have already happened.
And she think it's a timeline for her life. And I'm like, show me a timeline. Like, where's the timeline for a teenager? Like, everybody walk their own path, but she stresses over this. You know what I'm saying? And not to put her business. I ain't trying to, you know, but
you know
me and her mom always, we go through this. Me and her mom was constantly telling her, there's no timeline. You got to walk your own path. Just because you see everybody doing everything around you, that doesn't mean that you're ready for that.
Everybody's journey is
different.
And you know, one thing that you said that was powerful in that is the that spirit of comparison.
Yeah,
and we look at what somebody else is going through.
It'll have you messed up. It'll have you messed up.
Man, why
not me? Why I ain't got it yet?
Right.
Why I ain't got that new house yet? I'm ready to have a home.
Here's the thing about comparison that I've learned a long time ago. Like, you know, God is not a respecter of person. What he does for one, he'll do for another.
Right.
It depends on when you're ready for it. But you just never know where somebody is in they walk and what shortcuts they may take in order to get what they want. That you don't want to take. You don't want to go down those paths.
It's just like, and I don't know if you've seen this illustration or drawing, whatever you want to call it. It's like an iceberg. Me and my wife talked about it. At the top, you have success.
Right.
But below the water, you don't see the disappointment, the failure, the heartaches, the setbacks, the financial loss.
Man, every artist out there, every
rejection.
actor or actress will tell you.
That's what I'm saying.
What you see now ain't what took place. You don't know the sacrifice. Right. You don't know the years I was homeless trying to make this thing happen.
So,
you know, and you know what? I mean, just looking at our story right now. We sit here putting this podcast together. Most of what we do is coming out of our pocket. We don't have as many listeners as, you know, we would hope to have
Not yet.
right now. But you know what? I ain't worried about what other podcasts are doing.
That's what I'm saying. We'll drive myself crazy trying to compare. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know podcast. I don't know anybody. Whoever. Somebody on ESPN. We'll drive ourselves crazy.
Right.
They
we
can put the work in.
That we can
do. Right, man. So, you know.
And just like you guys at your jobs, you can only do the best that you can do. You know, your supervisor might be asking more of you. You can only do your best.
Now, let me give them 5. I'm going to give you 5 key things to try to get some balance in y'all lives. I hope y'all got a pen and paper. I'm going to wait about 5, 10, 15. Okay, that's it. Hope you got some pencil and paper.
If that wasn't enough time for you, pause the podcast right now. Go grab your pen and paper and come back.
Because we got to keep it moving. All right, the first thing is you got to have self-care. You got to have self-care. You got to
take care of yourself.
You cannot accomplish anything if you're not healthy. So that's the first one. All right, I'm moving on.
And you can't take care of your family either.
It's hard to pour from an empty cup. I love that saying. Oh, I love it. The second one we already mentioned, prioritize. You cannot please everybody.
And especially if they supervise you, chances are you're not going to please them.
Especially that coworker that think they the boss.
Because guess what? You can kill yourself trying to jump through this hoop and that
it's never going to be enough. So
there's going to be another hoop coming.
Come on, people. So you know what I'm saying? Prioritize.
Do what you can do each day. Hey, before you move on, let me say something to this. Because I had a supervisor one time on this topic of prioritizing. He you know, again, job stress early on in my career. And one of the things that he told me that stuck with me every day is that you can only take care of what you can take care of this day. Your inbox will always be full. You get one task done, 3 more gonna come and take its place.
That's it.
You can only do what you can do. The most important thing at that time, that's what you do.
What's in front of you?
That's
what's
it.
in front of you?
That's it.
That's it. So prioritize. All right. The third is organize and plan.
Ooh, that's not stuff we like to do.
I know.
Can we do this without creating a plan?
Organize and plan.
Man, I tell you.
But they say if you fail to plan to fail.
Yep, exactly. And I don't know about you. When I'm going to speak to my life right now. So my desk in the classroom.
Oh my.
I find I am more stressed if my desk is cluttered. If there's stuff all over my desk,
I don't operate off my desk. I have a table though.